Hello and welcome once again to Season Wire, the platform where we speak truth to power. This broadcast is really about what we Africans face in Europe. Yes, collectively. And we need to really begin to address this. Yes, it's racism. Yes, we know. No, yes, I know that we don't. We think, oh, we just we come on and we're seeking a better life and all of that. But that does not give anybody any right to do what was done to this young lady. And what is worse is it was only after 18 months when the whole world started screaming, when Simone Biles spoke, that they now issued an apology to the young lady. Guess what? In there trying to ignore her and not say apologies, Simone Biles now commenting and saying that is not acceptable gives this girl more light, that the light they try to dim only shines brighter. But what I really want to say is that those of us who are speaking about Yoruba Nation, when we talk about Yoruba Nation or Biafra Nation, this is what we mean. We mean that because of the failure of governance in Nigeria, because the government is failing the people now try and go and seek a better life somewhere else. Unfortunately, that life, because of how all black people are perceived by those with these preconceived racist ideas, they treat us in a manner that is totally unacceptable. And what I'm saying is that we must fix our nation through active participation in our governance using Section 14(2)(a). Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through its constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So what I am saying is that we owe it to ourselves to ensure that our governance puts in place infrastructures so that we can reach our true potential on our soil without having to go and face this blatant racism that you see that I'm about to play to you on the screen. Let's watch. Right. So there you go. They're giving award to everybody, and they miss out the young girl in the middle. They miss her out. See that? See? They're giving to everybody. Look on the necks. Look on the necks there, you see? They got medals, medal. They got red medal. And look on her neck. There's no medal they put around her neck. No medal. Yeah? Let's go ahead. See? So everybody else gets a medal. See that? And now look on her face. And her dad filmed this. See that? They're talking. It was as though somebody was trying to cover. It was as though this man was trying to cover the fact that she didn't get any medal, because she was standing in front of her not to make people see that she didn't get any medal. She was smiling, but she's wondering, why not me? See? That is so. They wanted to put her light out. This is why I talk about it is time for us. In the middle of all of this, it is time for us to really ensure our governance. We're not going to accept this kind of thing anymore. We're not in the years where this kind of thing is going to be just brushed under the carpet. No, we must speak up. We must ensure that our rights are respected. So, I'm just going to show you that. It will be up in a minute now. In the middle of all of this, so there are two things we are facing. We are facing racism. We are confronting and calling out racism, number one. And number two, we are saying it is time for us to fix our own place ourselves. Even though the system of governance that we are using, and that's the real problem, the colonial system doesn't allow, is preventing us from actually, doing the things we need to do. And they impose the colonial democracy on us in our land, and we need to rip it apart to stop young girls like this young lady here getting this kind of unacceptable treatment. It is totally unacceptable. See, look at that. They've all got medals and she hasn't got any. So, specifically for us at home, please let us begin to exercise these powers. 14(2)(a). Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through its constitution, derives all its powers and authority. We need to ensure that we teach our youth from young. Because many of us leave Nigeria not knowing that we have these powers that I'm showing you on the screen. For 24 years, we didn't know it. We are bringing it to your attention. Now, second part, Section 14.2c, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. In the Constitution, we have the provision as sovereigns to participate in our governance, hold them to account, demand for the infrastructures we need in our communities. We need to become active participants to stop this drain into places where we are not appreciated. We're not appreciated. If they can do this to us, it means they don't appreciate us. And we can reach our true potential in our own land. That's the point I want to make here. So let me just come back. So let's play this to the end again now. So watch. So everybody else got a medal except the lady, the young girl, the young Nigerian girl. And the reason why all of them, you see, look at that, everybody. So they went to get some more. In fact, they went to get some more. See, they went to get some more for the others. See, that she's back, you see? She's back to get some more for the others, but not giving the young girl at all. So that is what I'm really trying to emphasize here. So look in the picture, see the young girl without the medal. And then let us hear from the parents. So the point I'm making here from an African point of view is that our governance can no longer ignore this kind of injustice. The Nigerian government has not even said anything. I bet if you go and look, they don't even care about this. Oh, it's just normal. It is unacceptable. The reason why our people are facing this kind of racism around the world is because our governance, our bad governance has forced us to leave our country to now face this kind of injustice in foreign countries. And that is why I keep talking about the fact that we need to hold our governors to account using the powers that I'm showing you on the screen. Please, you need to become active participant in this process. Don't be a bystander in it any longer. We can no longer be a bystander. We have to participate in process. And the process states, we say it states again, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through its constitution, derives all its powers and authority. 14.2a, 14.2c, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. These are powers that we need to use, because in using that powers, it reduces, it will eliminate anybody around the world calling us names or treating us in such a despicable manner. Now let's hear from her parents. Let's hear from her parents. So this is by BBC, by the way, this section of it. The other one was by Evening Standard, and this is by BBC. I wanted to put this in to give you a fuller context, and you'll see Simon Biles' comments as well. Here we go.
It is painful to actually state and know the obvious. My daughter was the only black child in that competition. Mm-hmm. She stood out well. There was no excuse for what happened. She felt very upset about what happened. It's more like they almost blamed her for being black. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad her dad filmed this. Just look at that. Just look at that.
Very uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I actually yelled from far.
When I got back home, we saw the video and all of that. It was like, did it really happen? I couldn't really believe that did happen.
See, the complaint to the gymnasts in Ireland, gymnastics in Ireland. They reissued an apology to the family. What does that do? It went viral. The video went viral.
For a period with time, don't forget about it.
You see?
Painful to see that you have to beg for an apology later.
It's crazy.
They only sent us an apology because the world wanted them to, because we cried for so long. We kind of told her, regardless of your skin color.
Look at that. That's the young girl. Despite what it is, she's still doing the sports. The Nigerian government need to address this. I would actually like the federal government of Nigeria to actually go and intervene and demand the proper policy, and they should be bringing the Irish ambassador to the Nigerian to call him to Nigerian call him to the government and have a meeting, a public meeting, to give them a public dressing down and make sure that those staff involved were sacked. That's what this shouldn't end like that. So that we will send a message. If the Nigerian government sent a message that they look out for their people all over the world, Then we will know that they're serious, but they don't care. I don't think the Nigerian government has done anything about this. That is why I keep telling you, we must, as people collectively, exercise our powers of sovereignty. See, I'm telling you, please, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through its constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Section 14(2)(c). The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. One of the central provisions is that you're a sovereignty. You're a sovereign, and you can use the powers to hold the government and command them to do things to improve your community, your society, and it is your power collectively as sovereigns to do so. We need to begin to exercise those powers to stop this kind of injustice, this kind of racism being perfected on our people around the world. That's the plain fact. Now,
people shouldn't treat you differently.
Exactly. Now, listen, great news, you see? Let me go back again. Let me just see. I'm going to leave that there because I think it's fantastic to see that comment. So, Simone Biles sent a message to the girl. She sent a message. So, you see, the light they tried to dim only grew brighter. But yet still, we need to begin to participate in our governance to put a stop to all this kind of nonsense. We have the powers, we must use it. We must use our powers collectively. The churches and the mosques, they don't, will you hear them say anything about this? They don't say anything about it. They look the other way. It's time we use our powers as sovereigns to compel our government. We should compel them to call the ambassador from Ireland down into the office in Nigeria, in Abuja, and give them a public dressing down. And also ensure that those staff involved in that they are sacked with immediate effect. Immediate effect. That is what you do if you care about your people. I'm yet to see it happen in the case of Nigeria. But hey, we live in hope, of course. Let's go on.
As soon as we heard, the whole house was screaming with joy, with happiness, with sense of relief that such an iconic figure would actually be so empathetic and reach out to us.
So, as you see, that report was by BBC. But what I want you to look at and focus on is the young girl. The young girl in the middle of all of this. And she will not have had to face this kind of racism if the federal government of Nigeria were doing their job. And what I'm saying is, as people, our job now is to compel them, using our powers of sovereignty, to do what they're supposed to do. Without us playing that active role, we won't get good governance. Without us playing that active role, we will not get good governance. So that's a young girl there. I'm putting her in the picture to understand that, they try to exclude her, and we must not accept that exclusion. We need to reject it. We must reject it. What do you think about this video? It talked about two issues, of course. Failure of governance that led to the second part, the now perfection of racism on a young girl, on a young, innocent girl. Totally unacceptable. We call on the federal government of Nigeria to call the Irish ambassador into the office in Abuja. Call them into the office. Bring this girl and her family down. Sit them down and tell them that we will not tolerate this kind of nonsense any longer to our people. And if you don't listen, any business dealings we have, this will have an impact on it. That's how you deal with situations. But that will not happen unless we, the citizens, begin to collectively participate. And we can use the powers of participation. We can call our local government chairman, State of Assembly, House of Reps and Senators and governors to a meeting, town hall meeting, and tell them we need them to deal with this situation that's on ground immediately, and call those who have done this, call them to account for what they've done, and make sure that they are sacked. We can do it right now because of the powers you see on the screen. Again, I'm reminding you, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. We have the power to do so. we can begin to use it. We weren't aware because they hid it from us for 24 years. We are shining a light on those powers for you to take advantage of within your community right now. And you can participate in governance because it is mandated under Section 14(2)(c) of the Constitution. It states the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. And one of the provisions is that you are a sovereign. As a sovereign, you can hold your government to account. We shouldn't let this end here. Let us actually put pressure. We can begin. And I would actually like to get in touch with the parents and see how we can do this. Because this is what we need to do. Our government need to work for and on behalf of the people. And if they're not, it is our job to compel them to do so using the powers you see on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to the power. If this resonates with you, please do share. Leave a comment. Let's hear from you. The song in the background is saying, how long will I get this offer? Please go ahead and download it on iTunes, Spotify. Help us by downloading that. It will help Citizen AY be able to do a few more things in terms of translating the constitution into our local languages. That is one of the tasks I want to do. I want to translate the Nigerian constitution into Yoruba for all Yoruba people in Yoruba land. And also to be able to engage with my Biafran brothers to have the constitution translated into Igbo. And in fact, we are calling on the government until they do so. We are calling on the government to translate the constitution into our local languages with immediate effect. Because why? I'll show you something quickly. Just wanted to show you this. You see, that is a voters registration document written in Welsh about elections in the UK. If they can write that in the UK for the Welsh people to speak in Welsh, Yorubas have the right and indeed must demand for and ensure they get the constitution of their nation in their language so they can engage with the constitution and know what it means and how it impacts their lives in their language, and to be able to put a stop to the nonsense that you've just seen that's happening.
Regardless of your skin color.
This young girl here. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? Let's hear your views. I'm so glad that Simone Biles spoke, and kudos to the parents for persevering. But we expect to hear, and we should be in touch. All of us should get in touch with the Nigerian government and say they need to not let this lie. They need to be acting for the people. And call the ambassador of Ireland into a meeting in Abuja and give them a real dressing down. If they can, the government should actually finance. They should reach out to the family of the young girl. They should reach out. They should send one of the ambassadors to go, and they should already have sent somebody from the Nigerian embassy to go and see the family. But that hasn't happened. These are things that we keep talking about, and that's why I keep telling you have powers and you need to use those powers. And what are those powers? Again, one in closing. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. 14(2)(a). 14(2)(c). The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. We need to memorize and know this and begin to use these powers in our community with immediate effect. To be able to help with that, that's why I've come up with this. So beg your pardon. You will see something on the screen that's going to be a little bit off, but just bear with me. Come on. Okay, so got it. I think I got it here. So let me just show you. Now, in Yoruba, to the same thing that you had in English, in closing, we need it. Because I just showed you what the Welsh registration has been translated into for voting is in Welsh. So we can equally have our constitution in Yoruba. We can. So, for example, of what those powers I just showed you, what it means in Yoruba and how we will say it in Yoruba, it's this. Ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tí ìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè ìgbà gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. So it's a Yoruba translation of what I said in English. And we should start with Yoruba first in our land. That's what we must do. And then, of course, here, it says here, the second 14(2)(c). Ìkópa àwọn ènìyàn nínú ìjọba wọn gbọ́dọ̀ rí dájú ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. So we need those powers in our language so that our people can begin to exercise their powers of sovereignty on a daily basis to hold their governors to account, to put a stop to this nonsense of this kind of racism, blatant racism going on. And I salute the parents, but we expect to hear from the Nigerian government to call the Irish government into a meeting in Abuja. Yes, bring them all, call them to Abuja. Give the government in no certain time will we accept racism against our people. That's what we need to do. In every corner of the world, you should be standing for your people. If you want us to believe in one Nigeria, then you have to stand for the people when this kind of thing happens to them. But we're yet to see it. And I'm sure, as I'm talking to you, nobody from the Nigerian government in Ireland has been to see the family over this issue since it broke. Nobody. I don't even have to debate it. I know it for a fact, because that's how our governance operates. But they will not do that any longer if we begin to participate in our governance using the powers that you see on the screen. These powers, it is a must that we begin to exercise it collectively. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to the power. If this resonates with you, please do share. Don't forget, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, and help us reach more people. We really need your support. Help us grow the platform. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please do share this broadcast if it resonates with you. And leave a comment. Let's hear from you. We should no longer be silent in the case of this kind of injustice. But more importantly, on our land, we need to begin to exercise our powers of sovereignty. It is a must. That is the only way we will get good governance. Without exercising the powers of sovereignty, good governance will never materialize. We have the powers, we can use it, and we can hold our governance to account. I urge you, join us in this struggle. Please do whatever you can. The least you can do for us is to subscribe to Citizen AY, the platform will speak to the power, to help this go viral. Let this message go viral so that people can know that about what we can do to begin to hold our governance to account and to be able to put an end to this blatant racism that we are facing, many of us abroad, that we don't talk about. It's time we begin to address these issues. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Please share this broadcast and let it go viral. Let it reach as many people as possible. I'm so glad this parents spoke. Simone Biles wrote to them, and that is a message.